Welcome to the, give me any heads up on this. Welcome to the Borough of Rockaway Environmental Commission reorganization meeting. Welcome everybody, Happy New Year. I'm presiding over the meeting for the time being. Mr. Slotbauer had mentioned that Joyce is not able to make it and he wants to read something. But before that, we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And then the location of the fire exits, there's one right there at the back, and one right here on the left. Roll call, Frank.
Here.
Katie here. Joyce is absent. Kathy here. Rachel
Here.
Lisa
Here.
Mr. Slotbauer.
Present.
Just to let you know before we move on the agenda here, I did make some changes just to how the table looks, just to include the start dates and the end. It was just helpful to me and it's good to know because when we get to the main part of the agenda, it'll come up again. And then, did you want to just say
Yes,
now?
I do. So, I got late this afternoon, I just got an email from Joyce, dated today. I'll read it. It says, "Dear Mayor, Council, Environmental Commission members, I'm ready to formally tender my resignation from my position on the Borough of Rockaway Environmental Commission. It's effectively immediately. Serving on the commission for the past 15 years has been an honor and deeply rewarding. Rewarding experience, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to contribute to the borough's open space preservation and sustainability efforts. After considerable reflection, I am no longer fully aligned with the current direction it is taking. This decision was not made lightly. Thank you for the opportunity to serve the people of Rockaway Borough. Before a motion made, I just like to make a comment here. Joyce has been a big advocate. One of the strongest people I've ever seen stand up for this, and Kathy, you know that, Frank, know that. Thankfully for her, we have open space. She saved property, or we can enjoy, animals can roam free and live. So I give Joyce a lot of credit. I will truly miss her on this committee. I think she needs a break. So I hope she returns, let her take a little sabbatical, let her take a break and breathe, let her get her things done since she's retired. I think she wants to live a little bit. I hope to see her back. So with that, I'd like to share that with you, Kate, about the minutes. So someone needs to make a motion, accept.
Oh, we need to make a motion to accept it?
Seconded by anyone?
Oh, yeah.
Seconded by Frank?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go. Motion so moved. Thank you, everybody. I'm sure it's a hard thing for her to get. Thank you.
Sorry you had to read that. I'm sorry you had to read that. Like you said, she did.
I support everybody, Frank. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'll support everybody's wishes. Whatever I can do to help anybody, I will do it. I wish she was here yet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kate.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Okay.
Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Peter, haven't got any comments on that until I.
You have to appoint somebody else to run it, right?
Well, we had to appoint both a chair and also a secretary for the new year.
Right.
Yes.
But you know that part.
Oh.
No, I'm on that section now.
Okay.
The election of a chairperson and secretary for 2026. That was, you know what, the plan was assuming that it was gonna stay as it was last year, at least the way that we've been talking. So I apologize if I'm a little, I don't really know what to ask for here. Presiding officers call for nominations. So do I have any nominations for chairperson? Please.
So I'll make a nomination for Katie to be secretary again, because I think you do an excellent job. Like, your notes are, fantastically detailed, which I have to say, if I was the secretary, they would be about 1 page long. So you do a fabulous job, so I nominate you for that again. Second.
Yeah. I nominate Kathy for chairperson.
I second.
And I would nominate, Rachel for president or for chairperson if you wanna do that, cause I think that you're like, you know, new on the committee, but you have like a lot of like ideas and you're organized, and I feel like you've done this before. Have you done this before? No? Okay, so, I don't know, do you want?
Are you trying to We're gonna nod.
So, you have nominations on the floor?
Do I have to take a vote?
Of course, you have to take a vote.
Yep.
Okay, so the nominations for chairperson are Kathy, I need a second for Rachel.
There's 2 nominations on the floor.
Okay. Yeah, nominations for chairperson, it's Kathy and Rachel. Frank, who do you vote for?
I voted for, I nominated Kathy, I think she's qualified, so.
Katie, I vote like this, right?
Well, you still gotta ask Lisa.
Okay, so I go
How's
last.
your vote?
Okay, Lisa?
Can I ask questions, because I don't know everything? How long have you been on the environmental commission?
I've been on it since they began it,
Which is,
with Joyce, along with Joyce, yeah.
do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I definitely enjoy it, and I actually, so I'm retired now, so I do have more time. Because for a while there, I really was doing absolutely nothing besides coming to meetings, but I feel like I would like to start getting a little bit, you know, start doing some more things, and Rachel and I actually had a conversation about getting some stuff going. I don't feel like I need to be the chairperson, that's all. So, I'm not as organized as Katie, for instance.
Can I make a comment on that? Not to crosstalk, I think that, since you said you have time on your hands, I think that would be one of the major qualifiers, right? Having interest in the topics and maybe, been mentored by, other members. Maybe would give you some, ability to give, you know, quality attention. That would help, right? So, and then, how long have you been on the committee?
Just since last May.
And I know that you're deep in it, because I've seen your work already, which I appreciate. Bullet point. You know, I'm open, I like both of you, what am I gonna say?
I do too.
You know? I'm unbiased, voter.
All right, how about if we do this? How do you feel about being chairperson? Do you want to be chairperson?
I mean, I'm super organized. I don't know that I have enough experience to, you have lots of ideas. But I would definitely need some support in navigating, I guess.
Which we could do, right? And, you know, and Frank too.
I mean, if I felt that Kathy didn't want it, you would want it, I would look for you, so it's not that I'm voting against Kathy. Kathy has a very high recommendation.
We're all friends, like, we're all friends here.
Yeah.
Well, I would vote for the two, I would vote for the 2 of you then, okay?
Yeah, so
I mean, not to whatever best serves the, the commission, I don't need to.
how are you for time? Because you work full time already.
Yeah, but, whatever, you want something done, you ask a busy person, so it's.
That's true. The more time I have, the more time I waste.
Exactly. Like, just get it done, like, let's just be
So,
done.
Lisa, I'm gonna need your vote, please.
So we've had a pretty good discussion.
Yeah, I know. I'm moving us along.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Kathy.
Katie, you got a tie break.
So it's on me.
You got a tie break.
All friends.
We're all friends.
Yeah.
We're there for the same reason.
Exactly.
So Kathy votes for Rachel. Rachel votes, but then does Rachel get a vote?
Keep running.
Oh, so the runners don't get one?
Yeah, you guys break the vote. It's time.
Why couldn't they,
It's not tied?
It's time.
why can't they they vote?
It's not tied, they both said Kathy.
Did you say Kathy or, all right, I'm sorry.
I said Kathy.
Okay, there you go, it's 2 votes for Kathy, correct?
Yeah.
So far.
We don't get to vote?
Should.
Can they belong vote then?
Yeah, why not?
I'll vote for Rachel.
There you
Oh,
go.
God.
Can't nominate yourself or vote
That's
for
not
yourself,
helping
Rachel.
me.
So it's still, it's not gonna happen. My vote's not gonna matter, but I would vote for Kathy, not because I don't, it's not about Rachel and your organization, I think Kathy would be great. Especially as she started the board on the commission at the same time as Joyce, over 15 years ago. So we have 4, did you get to vote? No.
Not for that, not for that, not for your position.
So we
How
have
could you liaison?
4 votes for Kathy, 1 for Rachel, so, Kathy is the new chairperson.
Okay.
Thank you, Kathy.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Kate, as secretary, we did that first.
Yeah,
Okay.
and did we vote formally for you?
I think, we all said all in favor, didn't we?
I think we did.
Yeah,
yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
it should just be noted there.
All in favor, okay. So Kathy, now that you are the chairperson, you are to be the presiding officer, and you must,
Take over.
you must take over reading the agenda and reading the mission
That's
statement.
good.
You have to
Good job.
be aggressive.
You got it.
All right, so, all right, so I don't think that we need to read our, mission statement every meeting,
No,
but maybe we'll read
You
it
need to know.
for this one.
first one. So, Rockaway Borough Environmental Commission's mission is to educate, advocate, and promote best policies and practices for the borough's environment and for the health and safety of its residents, and encourage maintenance and conservation of open space and wetlands in the borough. Our goals are to advocate for the long-term protection of Rockaway Borough's natural resources and to promote public interest in environmental issues and to work with the community to protect our unique natural resources. Okay, so then, did you do an annual report? Did I see an annual report
So that's, so the minutes first.
for the recap report?
Yes, I have got, I've put something together, yes,
Oh, okay.
yes, that I'm happy to distribute now. Did you want to just, the minutes?
Excuse me? Oh, we need to approve the minutes, I'm
Yes.
sorry, I missed that. Yeah, so, I'd like to take a motion to approve the minutes. I did give, Katie 2 little tiny typo things, which is correct. Anybody have any other comments on the minutes? So we'll take a vote, all in favor to approve the minutes? Again, thanks for doing them, Katie, so extremely.
You know what, the minutes are the bits that I like the least.
Is that right?
Yeah, like, because I was here, 1, 2, it was, you know, you mentioned to Rachel before about, having done it before, like listening to meeting notes, processing the information, and then acting on it, moving forward with it, was kind of my bread and butter. So having to go back and then write the notes 2 months later is tedious. But anyway, yes, I put something together because I already had it to the agenda for the annual report. Again, don't judge based on the numbers. This is just the information that we have right now from the past 4 meetings. So I think as we think about looking ahead, it's more of a starting point for, hey, how do we do this year? Okay. And then I think if we can plan to discuss it now, Kathy, and then if you want to make changes, what we're gonna do with it would be good.
So, more social media, definitely. How are you at social media, Rachel? You're good, right? And Katie's good. I don't do any social
I
media.
don't do that.
So we definitely need social media. I know we need it, Lisa, how are you at social media? Are you,
I'm okay.
so you're on like Facebook and stuff
I'm okay, but I think that we should have her on Facebook.
for Environmental Commission?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, we were talking about.
It has to go through me, anything that it on the town website, simple as that.
No one goes to the town website.
I'm sorry?
No one goes to the town website.
I know, we had orders from the mayor, directly from the mayor. Anything we want to discuss through social media wise has to go to the town website,
Yeah.
so we are a town org, so.
Does the town have a,
I'm sorry?
does the town have a Facebook page?
They do, they do.
Yeah, okay, fine.
So then we can get on
So we
that.
could post on that.
Well, you give to the clerk or she'll post it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do that now, I think already, like with the cleanup,
What is it?
The flyer's been on there.
yeah, today,
What is it?
that's also a question, I think.
Is that the one?
for mayor and council meetings, where we want them to be more proactive on that anyway. If we're giving them stuff to post, I'm sure
Mhm.
it's fine. I can continue to, as we have these meetings, and then sort of highlight them on the page that I run, like that we've talked about already. I think we'll continue unless anything changes or, something gets posted that people don't want, then, that otherwise. It's public information, so it's just sharing it
That's all.
in a,
I would take it one
Precedent.
step further. I think we need some sort of calendar for the year where we're giving that,
ahead, ladies.
yes.
a couple things, for the next few months, like here's what we're planning and here's what's going on. So, or like reminders of like, this is recyclable, this is not recyclable, like educating people on.
So maybe we don't need to talk about this right at this second, because then we wanna go back into what we talked about the other day. So let's kind of get through this, and then
Yeah.
we'll move on to the
We can do
agenda.
it again.
So I can give a top line on just what's here, that everyone can read, it's pretty basic stuff. But I think I've attended other committee and board meetings, and I always think it's a really nice thing, just as they talk about what happened last year. We had a lot of change in membership, and even more so this evening, that it's just good to see it. And, but I'm planning ahead for 26, like what have we done in 25? Have we done better? We can start to measure. So, I started off with just a chunk of the mission statement at the top there, because that's all of this falls under that. We had 3 new members, myself, Rachel, and Lisa. Chanel was on the board for a little while, but then Lisa came on. We've had 4 public meetings. We didn't have the reorg because of some of the membership changes until May, but we did squeeze in the 4th one, so we did have our 4 quarterly meetings. I looked back on YouTube to see how long we met for. It was about 4 hours. So we meet for about an hour every time, which I think is good. We had our one cleanup event, which was held in the fall this year versus the spring. It had to be cancelled due to inclement weather, but I think going forward we want to probably do 2. At that one event we had 17 volunteers, so it was light. But again, I think as we think about events and planning, how can we maximize that? It's mainly the time. Like even I couldn't be there the whole time because I had to go to a recreation game. But 17 volunteers is better than none, right? And this number 2, I want to increase this dramatically. 6 meeting attendees, which means that people sat right here. At every meeting we've had something, but more people asking questions would be good. And then the outreach efforts, it's Brian, we went to Anthony's and Rockaway Hardware, several of us, to thank them for their donations for the cleanup, and then we posted about that on social media. Frank and Kathy, you were at the land use board, where you presented the dark sky presentation. And then I reached out to the environmental club, or the community service club at Thomas Jefferson, to try and get them involved and more just on their radar, that as they're looking to plan activities, that they can, leverage the environmental commission. So those are kind of like the numbers-based things, and then things that are a bit more, so hey, we've done more of it in general, and this is kind of the overall effort to do more social media and posting, so, making sure that we do email the clerk with our materials, and that it's posted on the sign outside the town hall, and then posted on Facebook and wherever else. And then more topics covered, more community-driven topics. So I think we've all gotten better at, as we've heard things around town, and things that are happening and going on. We've been talking about those things, raising them, having a discussion, deciding if it's the purview of the commission or not, you know, tapping Mr. Slotbauer from a council and town perspective to collaborate as needed. But I think there was a lot, and I'm saying there's a lot more of that because it was our first year. So I'm kind of, you know, as a marketer, fluffing it a little bit to say, hey, actually this is just what we did. And I think if we can then compare that in future years, we'll see if there's some themes, there's more things that we can do. So that's it. Does anyone have any questions about it? Spot any typos?
Nice summary.
Thank you.
Mhm.
But I think this possibly could be something that the town could share as from the Environmental Commission. Hey, we had our reorganization meeting, we did a recap, or we could just leave it in the meeting minutes and say that it's there. I think it's up to the board to decide how they see it.
What do you think, Tom? Do you think we want to share this with anybody?
Well, everybody knows what we do, basically, in a sense, because we're out there talking about it,
Mm-hmm.
and they see you working. Well, we can always, I love to talk.
Yeah.
Talk is the best thing to do, that's how you deliver a message. That's how you deliver a message, but we're doing good with that, I think. It's everything I actually do. You're doing it, just,
Yeah.
it's a slow pace.
I mean, I like having the summary, but
Yeah,
I don't think we have to like share it with anybody, but I think it should be saved somewhere, so it can be referenced later.
yes.
So, do we have someplace that we save, like, our meeting minutes? I mean, the town takes them, right? And
Town
saves
takes
them.
them.
So I think it should be attached to meeting minutes. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so when I do the minutes for this meeting, in this section, I'll just add them at the end.
Then it's on file.
I think also, yes, it doesn't seem like a lot, right, for public meetings, but one of the proposals later in the agenda is to have more meetings. So already, we're winning,
Exactly.
and we've got 3 people at this one meeting, so
And I
half
also,
of our target already, the
And-
first meeting everybody.
and I like that we have this for this year, and then we'll do it again next year, and we can see our improvements.
I love doing stuff like this, summaries and stuff like the notes and all of that detail.
That's great.
It's more. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Um,
Okay, so let's move on, our agenda, action items, membership updates, that Katie just did that, so we're in good shape. And then Katie, you'll send that over to the mayor, because we did see in the minutes, or the agenda at the other meeting, that it wasn't, we didn't have the right information. And actually, I did look at the environmental commission section of the website, and it still has Jean Bloom on there, so.
So as part of everything that we just discussed at the start of the meeting, and then, yeah, when the mayor appointed Jean again,
Yeah.
and any updates on the website, just like with your term dates have changed now, you and Frank.
That's true.
So just those things, I will, when I send the minutes, I'll make a separate note, I'll put it in.
Just make a note, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That'd be super, thank you. Council liaison role, did we have a discrepancy about what your role is? So, for instance, you did not vote on the membership, so is there, like an issue with what you do vote on or do not?
I'm really not, I'm not part of the environmental committee, but I'm really not.
Yeah.
And I'm a government elected official, so, just to hear what your needs are, what your wants are.
Mhm.
And I communicate back and forth what we can do. Of course, I participate in all the activities,
Right, right.
as part of it being
Right.
involved, so.
But so do you not vote on things though?
I don't, it's not really clear,
Okay.
yes or no.
Do we need to, so how do we determine that? Like, is there like a charter for the environmental commission or
That-
something?
I don't know.
I kind
What,
of.
like in the ordinance, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was developed, but that,
But it doesn't say anything specifically about the liaison, and then it should be 5 members, 2 alternates. So
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Specifically.
So-
says that.
part of that discussion here about the membership updates, so one, it wasn't formally addressed at the last meeting, but should now have been removed, and Lisa was on.
Mhm.
And then also, when they were appointed, no one was appointed as an alternate, which I think needs to come from the clerk when she gives the resolution to the mayor to read. So maybe, unless anyone knows the answer, then I can include it in the email to Kim about who's an alternate, Jean's not on, just so that we can list it correctly.
Who should I ask about that?
Kim.
Kim.
Kim?
Who is the clerk?
So, yeah, you can reach out to her about maybe that specifically, just in terms of the membership.
I'm just concerned about alternates, we only have
Yeah,
five
you can fill that
members, so.
position.
Because it should be 5, yeah, so 7 people total before tonight, I think, and then concerning Mr. Slotbauer and, hello, how are
My
you?
friend.
Whether he was a voting member versus a liaison, I think just needs to be clarified.
Okay.
So now you have an opening.
You what?
You have an opening now too.
Like, to videotape it?
So you get an alternate.
It's right,
Well, are we limited to 5? I mean, we can have more,
Well,
right? That's what I should check on the board.
I think it says here, 5 members and 2 alternates.
I also wanted to know if we had bylaws, like what we're supposed to be doing in town, what the, what the boundaries are between one committee to another.
So, yeah, could you circulate that charter that you have in front of you?
Yes. What, right now?
No,
Oh,
whenever you send it out.
It's just the one from E-Code, the Environmental Commission, how it's set up, what we're responsible for, things like that. Pretty, just 1 page, but yeah, I'll say it.
I'm sure I saw it originally, but it was a long time ago, I don't have any recollection what it says.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will give us some, a little more information, and then we can maybe discuss it next meeting if we feel like we need to. Okay. All right. Email and website so it was determined that we are not getting an environmental commission email, is that?
that's correct, yeah, it goes through my email, actually, I'll link to it all.
And then we'll just go, any questions people have for the environmental commission, go to the borough clerk, and then she'll
Yeah,
pass it on.
my email's online, if I run a website,
Right,
on town website.
okay.
Okay, so that's an update, is that there isn't gonna be a separate email?
No, just use my email for any environmental questions I have to share.
So if we were to put together a newsletter, would we send that out from your email
Well, you do it electronically, you wanna do it paper,
electronically?
so Kim would do that
Okay,
through our website.
okay.
I think it's more the reason for having it, right, is if someone wanted to contact the Environmental Commission directly, would they just, right now, they would just email the clerk? Because I'm more thinking about what it would look like on the page, the clerk or Thomas Lyle.
They would email me, or they can even call town hall, leave a message.
I
So
don't know about you, I do anything I can to avoid calling a place and talking to a person.
Yeah, well, you can work either way, email or make a phone call.
And then we also get mail, we get
There is email,
regular
yes, that's correct.
mail, which I guess I have to start picking that up.
I haven't seen much there, very little.
Okay,
I'm in there like 2 times a week,
okay,
so I always look.
okay. So we should put that somewhere, that if, any questions for the environmental commission can go to the clerk and or, because I don't think it says that specifically on the
No.
website.
Yeah.
So before I send like a general email to Kim with all the changes that need to go on the website page, we can kind of approve it amongst us, and then say, yes, send this over, that's good.
Okay. It does have the borough clerk's email on.
But does it say specifically, like, for any questions with the?
No,
Yeah,
definitely.
because I did just look at it today, and I don't remember it saying, like, to contact the environmental commission, which personally, I think it should say that.
Yeah.
It should be something there.
Yeah. I mean, it's assumed, but I think it would be better if it was more obvious.
I agree.
Okay.
And then the signage. We didn't get new signs for either place.
No. So we talked about signs that went last meeting, correct? That was for flag White Street.
Yeah.
Beach Street River, Beach Street, River Park, and Jackson Avenue. And we even discussed about getting the tree moved. It's still there, I didn't forget that, Kathy. Those, I will follow up with that
And I thought
by the end of the week.
Joyce and the mayor talked at our cleanup about putting another garbage can at Jackson.
We talked about moving the garbage cans, because not,
Oh,
nowhere's near,
maybe that was it.
yeah, so, hasn't been done yet, but let
So
me push it again.
Okay.
I can do a push, I agree with that all day long and stuff, I'll push it again.
Cause I was under the impression that they have money for new signs, so that didn't seem like it would be a big deal.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on.
Yeah, when I saw Joyce last week, I'd mentioned to her about the signs, because I wanted to send a note to Rob in advance of this meeting to say, hey, based on the last conversation, I went through the email again, and obviously going through the minutes from the last meeting, now it's really not relevant, it's more, are you moving forward with the sign that we proposed, what's the timing on that? Because, anything related to dogs on leashes, like, if they have to write that into the regs, that's okay, but it's still acceptable for Beach Street as is, right? And then motorized vehicles are already in there, so I think either you could email him or you can ask the recreation director.
I
Because I know Joyce was going directly to the mayor.
So we had, we talked all about, what should be included, and we decided that those signs were fine.
Yes.
With the updated language, it's just the question of, is he gonna be able to get them?
Yes.
So, did he give you an answer or not really?
No, so, when I spoke to Joyce last week, I was planning to email him, and she said because she'd spoken to the mayor, to hold off on that. So, I was hoping to discuss it with her at this meeting, but I can just email back to the last one and say, hey, it's been a couple months, with budgets and stuff, like, where we at.
Or one of you let me do it?
Yeah.
So, just to sort of let people know that Joyce isn't participating anymore. So should I reach out to Rob or the mayor?
I go right to the mayor.
Okay. And then also the garbage cans. Yeah, because the two garbage cans, I just walked by there the other day, and then two garbage cans are like over on the other side.
Too far away,
Yeah, and
And they need one, where they put them.
yeah, we need, and by the picnic tables.
that's the issue,
Yeah.
those are the tables.
And then we have the community cleanup campaign.
Yes.
And Rachel and I sat down and started talking about this a little bit more separately.
Yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think the biggest thing that we need right now is a date for the spring cleanup. And then we can, start outreach to the schools and scout troops. And can we do a Google form to have signups?
Well, where would we put that?
Right? Can we get
You
sent
can put it on
to?
our website. Like that you can put on the website and direct people there. You can just make a QR code that says sign up here and then.
No, but who manages the form, I think.
And I don't-
It would have to be linked to an email.
Well, it's set up through a Google account.
And does it have to go to an email?
Just a form.
Yeah, but the
And-
form,
Oh, but then the form, I see.
Who manages
all the
the form?
responses.
It doesn't, the form doesn't have to go to, it would just, it would have to sit in a Google account somewhere. And then the responses would go to that account.
And that account has to be on a website, or can it be on Facebook?
No, so, you'd have a Google email account, like you'd have a Google account where you log in with your Google, with your Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would set up a form through there.
Is your email a Google email?
I don't know for sure. Well, what's been done in the past, people call town hall and leave their number, and Joyce would actually put her number online, and they would call Joyce directly, if they want to volunteer. So
I think that's also, that's great that that's still an option.
it worked.
Yeah, but
Do more.
Where was your
we
number?
could, I think that's the,
Should put it on the flyer.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you can.
I just think if we want different people involved and volunteering, like being able to register and sign up, at least for, and getting like the kids at the schools involved, like, to tell them to call
So what I'm
somebody to
thinking,
register.
right,
seems-
I'm picking up where you're putting down. So the idea is that we have this form where people could register, and then we're not just capturing people that are signing up to come to the event, we would be capturing people that are clearly interested in the community and want to help keep it clean. So that's when like phase 2 or phase 3 comes, where we start sending out email blasts to people saying, hey, we're doing this thing, you know, we have a cleanup scheduled for next week, or we're doing a, you know, it was a really windy day last week, and we're doing a cleanup this weekend, and then we have more people to kind of start tapping into.
You can always use my elected officials' email.
Do
That's
you,
when I do it.
do you want that though? Cause then you're liable to get a lot of emails, oh,
It's
I can't make the thing, I'm not gonna be there until 11, like, do you want that?
Katie, how do you like those banners in town?
What banners?
The
Oh, the
banners.
veteran banners, yeah,
I had a lot of emails.
that's what
I
you
do.
hear about.
Yeah, I did that and I had a lot of emails.
But that's
So
separate
it's okay.
though. That's a separate organisation.
Yeah, no, it's the same
This is-
principle. It's the same
Well,
principle.
Well,
You could email.
not
Yeah.
really, because
If
it's a
there's-
government entity. This
if
is
there's
the
so many
issue that
people
we're talking
in
about.
the- Yeah, but so
We're not
that's
allowed
how
to
you-
have stuff on Google or anything like that. It just doesn't seem efficient.
I think what the ladies are saying, and gentlemen, for gentlemen not to be, that we need something that we run and own.
Who's coming?
We run and own it.
Which we've already been told we can't.
We can't. So how else do we do it? That's the question. That's what we're trying to decide.
That's the only
See,
option, I think, phone number and email.
There is a
Yeah.
problem with these
Then
government
that's what-
emails, because if you're an outside extender, this goes through, mail, which is not always something that will be accepted if the other person doesn't know who you are. It won't go through, because I've done it to like other government entities, and it just gets kicked back.
I just can't imagine that you want other towns that run
I'm gonna
events
try to give
and
you an email.
want to register people, that they have alternatives other than calling a person. Because even if we post on the town's Facebook, no one monitors those posts. So I guess it would be on ours as members to monitor if anyone comments on there, like, with information, which I think we could all
Well,
agree to
could we-
doing.
But we could use a Joyce put her phone number out there, so we could say call or text.
Correct. So let me speak to the mayor, see what we can do. Something that we can have.
I mean, so the end goal, so that you understand where I'm coming from, is not just to get people to sign up for one specific event. It's to kind of build a database of people who are interested
Correct, I know
in
you said.
things, so that we can.
Go to.
So the next time we have an
newsletter.
event, yeah.
All right, so let me talk to the mayor, see how we do the sign up.
Mhm.
Is there any way we do, fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk to him tomorrow. Thank you.
So you mentioned at the start, having a date, in
Yes.
this next section, I put a couple dates here, just based on what we did in 25. So I guess maybe,
I think the question, we had talked about Earth Day, but we think that might be too early and it might be too chilly. So if we did something in May, I don't know, I can really honest.
Are you looking to coincide it with the cleanup, or is it a separate effort that's starting?
I think we could use Earth Day as a catalyst, but it doesn't need to be on there.
I don't think that we want it on Earth Day because everybody does something on Earth Day and we'll only have 5 people show up. So I think it makes sense to do it on a different day, but I think I like the idea of sort of using Earth Day to announce it or, you know, something else.
Says May 17th here.
Yeah, that's what,
I had proposed based on it's normally the week before Memorial Day weekend. But again, I don't think we need to,
Yeah, I think we could do that, and then we use Earth Day as the, hey, if you're interested in this is what you
You
can
have to
sign
be
up
careful,
for. You're not
some of the
gonna
high
get
schools have,
it.
AP exams, so you might want to schedule, I don't know, their exams, but
So how do we find out like when the AP exams
I
are?
can find it.
But they wouldn't be on a Saturday.
But you don't understand, you're not gonna get any high school kids who are taking APs or studying.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, their brains are gonna be broke. So,
I do think there's something to that, because we need to know when like the proms are gonna be too.
yeah.
Okay, I will call the schools,
You'll check on that?
yeah.
So we're going to hope for, what did we say, May 17th? And you're gonna check on AP exams. Proms wouldn't be in May, though, would they? I guess maybe they can be in May, huh?
Kathy said the 17th of May?
Yeah.
That's a Sunday.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, is it? And actually, I did know this was Sunday, and I just kind of figured it would be Sunday.
Then change it.
But probably, yeah.
The 16th.
Personally, I think Saturday is better. I'm, you know,
No, I
don't
meant to
go
put the
church, but-
16th and the 17th is the rain date.
Okay.
We can change that.
Oh,
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm putting it on my calendar.
Okay, so once we have that, then yes, then we can start reaching out to, kind of start promoting that. And I would not start promoting it in April, I would start, like, once we have this information from the schools and we confirm a date, then I think we start rolling it out to.
Are they gonna let us put things like announcements on that website? You know, we've got that one page of for the environmental commission. You think they'll let us put, like, save the date,
Yeah.
May 7th, May
The
16th?
flyer's on it, so I don't see why
I
you
think
can't.
so.
Is the flyer on it? I didn't.
We
well,
got flyers
it was
on it, I think, yeah.
In the past?
It's on the sign too, up front.
Yeah, and,
Yeah. They should be able to have a section for downloads and stuff like that, so if you want to do flyers, I think understanding the limitations of the website, when we email Kim about what we can do.
Yeah, that's
They
kind of.
have a Google form on the website, so someone must manage it. It's a suggestion form, so there must be a mechanism.
Okay.
I'll include that one in
I'll direct it to regarding.
So you think we could, like, so maybe we could use this one page for a bunch of stuff? Like, it has meetings, has minutes and agendas, and then we could have another section, you know, our calendar or schedule.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we can click here for the flyer, click here for the Google form.
And then we just have the QR code that
After
we put on the flyer that pushes everybody to that site.
Alright,
Walk around all the feet.
so from a minute standpoint, I'm just thinking, because we're gonna move forward with the campaign and doing something, but the stuff that you shared, sort of, that was draft last time, do you want me to include it in the minutes, or is this still in draft and we're gonna proceed maybe at the next meeting?
I think maybe, part of that, a lot of that was just brainstorming ideas, like putting together a calendar for social and stuff like that, so, and like different ideas that we can do. But I think what, Kathy and I had talked about is using that spring cleanup as kind of the anchor event, if you will, for a lot of things going forward after that. So, like, there's more that we can do on social that, like, reminds people, like, you know, styrofoam is not recyclable. Even if you put it in your recycling bin, it's not gonna happen. And like, what, you know, like, this is a yes, this is a no, and like, other people that we can have, I don't know, like, you know, interviews with, you know, things like that, like, just, but I think all of that comes with like some sort of like base, and like there needs to be some action item, like sign up for updates, go to use this Google form, like there has to be some action item that comes out of those things, or we're not gonna know what happens, you know, like, we would, like, if we had our own social, it'd be like, oh, we have this many more followers, so something's working, we have to have a way of measuring. It's on there.
Okay. So I think maybe not include it in the minutes for now, as we're talking about it, and then as we plan the agenda for the next meeting, it can be included in there.
Okay.
So I was gonna text you today to drop it in from last time, like, we're just talking about it at the moment,
Right.
but I think it's great. We're gonna be moving forward with it.
Okay. So do we sort of have that, like, what we're gonna do for website? We have to get some information and figure that out. So Frank has something he has to leave.
Yeah, I didn't know the meeting was gonna be at 7:30, they're usually short after, because I gotta go to something else later tonight. And Joyce and I had talked about, bringing my friend Steve, he's a member of, he lives in Rockaway Township, so he can't be on the commission, you know. Now, he ran the Parsippany wastewater treatment plant, and this goes back to my presentation to the town council, about lighting it. And what's really kind of bothering me is I see more lighting going up that is not compliant, that's the worst lighting possible. And it just goes up, and they got this thing on Main Street, that senior housing, whatever it is, I know they're gonna put up lights that are just awful. I could just feel it coming.
Okay.
And Steve and I both are members of, it's called Dark Sky. And we both went through training, and I wanted Steve, if you would like to hear what he had to say.
Well, I think what we need to do is we need to just make sure that the land use board has the correct information, that they have the correct types of lights that are acceptable. So how about if I dig that up, if I get that information to you guys, and just you tell me if these lights are not acceptable.
I just see lights going up all the time. They're brand new lights that are just like, they're in your face. They're like the worst kind of lights possible.
Well,
The ones at the line use for, like, for that, the one on West Main Street,
yeah,
I meant the one across from Riverside Shop.
brand-
They're these lights like that, and they're shining right in your eyes. That's the worst kind of lighting possible.
Well, no, I was wondering, does the town of Rockaway Borough have a outside lighting ordinance?
we do, apparently. So
Yeah.
I guess I need to
That's
dig
all
that
done
up.
through land use, am I correct?
Yeah.
Land use addresses all that.
Because they're the ones who will approve the new lighting there. Frank,
Yeah.
I don't know if we can, like, isn't there like some kind of grandfathering? Like, if I change the light on my front porch and it's not down facing, I don't think the borough can do anything about that.
No, but when I see lights go up now,
Mhm.
and
Well,
they're the worst lights possible.
I think we can only, so I think what we need to do is get the ordinance, and I'll get it to you, and you guys can discuss it and see if you think that it's appropriate, if, you know, what we have is sufficient. Because that's something that we can recommend, make a stronger recommendation to the land use board about what type of lighting they should be, you know, limiting new development to. Again, I don't think that we're gonna be able to stop, you know, existing homes.
I'm not, well, I mean, you could,
You could, but I don't think
you
we
can
can do
always
that.
shield existing lighting.
Right.
But any new lighting that goes up, I know it's gonna be the worst possible kind.
It should
I know, I see it all the time. The high school has brand new lights, and you go up there, it's like daylight. You go up there at midnight, it's like,
And so actually I was driving.
Well,
up
actually,
here-
the high school did put in dark sky compliant lighting, so you gotta give them some credit.
Oh, good, okay.
You know, that is dark, those lights there, compared to the other lights in the town, are aiming straight down.
no, they're on the building, they're
You know,
straight in your face.
Those are just 2 lights on the building for the band.
No,
You
there's
know?
about 6 or 7 of them.
All right, so let's not like go back and forth, but let's get the ordinance
Okay,
and I'll get it over to you, okay?
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, I appreciate your, you know, bringing it up. All right. Budget, we don't have a budget,
No.
pretty short discussion.
No,
Zero.
meeting dates.
Excuse me?
Those
Meeting dates.
meeting dates.
I'm sorry,
Our calendar next year, for this year.
what did you say?
Our
The
meeting
26 meeting, you skip to the bottom. There's the meeting dates to go through.
The fall
No,
cleanup?
you're high. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
New
Once
business.
again,
Oh, meeting dates, I'm sorry,
That's all.
I totally missed that, okay. So, are these meeting dates good for people? So basically, did you make it like the same week on Tuesdays?
Do you know what this date is?
So let's see, March 17th is the third Tuesday, and then
So it
May
won't be wrong.
12th is the second Tuesday, and July 21st is the third. So let's make it, can we switch it to always, Frank, do you have something on a particular Tuesday?
I shoot pool on Tuesday, but it's just, it seems like a lot of stuff just shows up at different times, so Thursday I'm free. Tuesdays I can make it, but,
You have other stuff going on?
I got other
Tuesdays?
stuff
But is it
going on.
like the second Tuesday or the third Tuesday of the month?
No,
or no?
no, I have a meeting with Sheep Hill Astronomy Association, it's the third Tuesday of the month.
Okay, so,
And I shoot pool on Tuesdays too. So
The question is, Kate, Town Hall gave you these dates?
No, I gave them based on,
What we did in the past?
yeah, well, based on a proposed schedule of 6 meetings a year, or every other month, and then based on when we would want to schedule, so below is the dates that I earmarked for the cleanups, and working backwards when we got a meeting just before that, or before each of them.
so the meeting dates, typically you have, other municipal events are scheduled on like the second Tuesday, the third Tuesday, the fourth
Correct,
Tuesday.
right.
So we should have, follow that type of schedule, just so that it's
They are
consistent.
primarily the third,
Right,
except for the May 12th, because of when the cleanup was due. So I moved it to the week earlier.
got it.
But again, if we send these to Kim and she says that it's not available on that date, then fine. I think based on some of the other Tuesday meetings, it's a different time, and I don't think it overlaps. I will double check, because before maybe just get her to double check, and then if they're not right, we'll come
Yeah,
back.
so all your third Tuesdays, I have another group that I'm on
Okay.
the third Tuesday.
So what if we switch them to the second Tuesday? Does that make sense? Does it matter to you? Does it make any difference?
Fine.
As long as those dates are open right now. That's the problem.
Right,
If not, we'll have to drop back down to the third.
or what about, the first or the fourth?
Are you going to talk to?
No, the first Tuesday is land use board. I think the fourth as well,
Okay,
if it's supplemental.
all right, so yeah, let's see if we can do, see if we can do it all on the second Tuesday. And then,
Okay.
I can't remember which one May.
Okay, I'll double check those dates after.
Sorry, Kate.
That's all right.
Those meetings we start.
But everyone's okay with 6 meetings versus 4?
The second
That's good.
Tuesday, is that okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Yeah, I think, for me at least, just doing it since April, it felt a little long in between, and I
Yeah.
totally forgot about it, and then having to
Yeah.
completely ramp up again, versus I'd like it to be
And
more of a
because-
summer, more of a summer.
Yeah.
I think every 2 months is perfect, I think that's very good, adding, another 2 meetings in there compared to last year. And then the next, so if we can, but it should be consistent, so the second Tuesday is the best for everybody, it seems like.
Okay.
And then, the time, do people like 7:30, or do we wanna go earlier? What do people feel like?
Earlier.
Back at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock?
That's fine.
Okay, 7 o'clock's good. So hopefully that will work with the town. Okay.
So we'll do March 10th, our next meeting?
Correct.
Maybe.
assuming that,
They-
That
they
works.
pay, yeah.
and then May 12th,
It's already the second. Tuesday.
and then July 14th, and then September 8th.
No, so, can we, is it possible for that one, because there would be a full cleanup the end of that week, so that's the week of. It's okay,
What are you saying?
to keep it at the 15th,
September 8th for a meeting, and the fall cleanup will be the 12th?
and the full cleanup will be
Well-
the 19th.
You already got the September 15th meeting with the September 19th cleanup. So it's.
Yeah, but if we're
So
making
it
it to
doesn't,
every
it
second
actually
Tuesday,
doesn't conflict with it.
I'm saying I would like the meeting the same week as the cleanup, if possible. But if you want to stick to second Tuesday, we can just move it to the
Yeah,
8th.
I don't think that's necessary. In fact, having it a week and a half away gives us a little more time to plan, if we can plan.
Okay. And November 10th.
Okay. Do we have any strategic priorities that we need to talk about? We didn't really talk about that.
So I added this based on the conversations that we had about the campaign at the last meeting, and also how I plan in my professional life, like, you know, setting the goals at the start of the year. I mean, doing the recap was sort of part of it, like where are the opportunities? We've talked about already what we've done last year and sort of what we're doing again, but what are the core tenets of what we're trying to do this year? So, like, I have some ideas, like, I write these kind of things, taking what Rachel had done as well, kind of like where we all are, like keep it really simple, like encouraging more conversations about the environment. Super simple, like, hey, when we think about the things that we do in the community, is it doing that? Are we encouraging more conversations? Are people talking about the environment or our events or recycling more? They are great. Increase community participation, about volunteerism, so whether it's here in the meetings, so we need a new member on the board, which I do want to circle back to because we should advertise it, that we're looking for a member. But, you know, making it easier for people to get involved and different types of opportunities versus sort of an annual cleanup. And then build trust and partnership between residents and the town. So, I mean, me personally, like, from a resident perspective, I've got a lot more concerns about the environment than I do when I'm sitting here, which I know Joyce and I have spoken about it in the past about what, and here it is now, about what's our purview versus another board or another department. But I'm not trying to sort of encroach on those things. It's more, I think you'll see further down in the agenda too, there's more our sort of role as a commission is being informational, educational, share, just sort of passing through some of that information. If we have any insight to add, sure, but it's more, oh hey, I heard at the meeting that there was soil. You know, at Marin Housing there was soil, this is what they're doing about it, it's, you know.
I think, yeah, I agree with you on that, we're not, you know, we don't have any power.
No.
All we can do is advise, ask questions, make recommendations.
Yes.
That's it. So just to have that information, to be aware of what's going on, I think we are responsible for being aware of what's going on.
Yes.
So, I think having those things on the agenda is totally fine, and just touching on them.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
I don't think we have to like have a full discussion about each subject at every meeting,
No.
but I think having them on the agenda and just say, is there any new information about this or that or the next thing?
Exactly. I think that will help build some of that trust and partnership, because if people are hearing that, at least for me, if I'm hearing it at a Marin Council meeting, and the next meeting you come to and it's clearly an environmental issue, and the Environmental Commission does not mention it whatsoever.
Right. I agree.
So,
I have one comment then. We started it, I know you gotta go, Frank.
Yeah.
Your
What
problem
do
is,
you have to say?
so we went around town about 2 years ago monitoring the little pools of water, little
Right.
ponds. My thought too, we need to go back and measure the brooks and the streams and conditions
Sure.
in town. That's something we have to do before vegetation starts growing again.
Yeah.
So we know what stormwater is affecting it,
Yeah.
yard runoff, what's polluting them, and I think that's something good for us to do.
Yeah.
Measure the depth, just like we do with the ponds, right?
And I'd like to
Also,
be
let's
involved
add
in
it
that
to the
with
pond.
this.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'm all in,
you're a key player in this.
might be able to get
Okay.
a friend here to help out.
So I'll let you do that.
Well-
We started it, we didn't get a chance to finish.
Now that we have a March meeting coming up, we can talk about when we want to schedule a field trip to do those. I plan to add those to the agenda.
Yeah,
Probably take
But
a
like
week. It's gonna take probably 2 weekends.
the
okay.
brooks and the streams, I guess. is
So
one less
monitor them,
different.
then walk up them, measure them, the
Okay.
width, and like, you know exactly what I'm after, Frank.
Is that,
You know what I'm after, see what kind of
yeah,
animals
I'm
are
all in,
living out
I'm
there.
all in on that.
Some have a fish in them yet, so we need to measure them.
You're gonna do your Raider boots?
Yeah, I got my boots ready to go. I'm ready to go with you. Start walking.
I should get going.
All right, Frank,
I
thank you.
appreciate you putting me on
Thank
you.
staff early, I appreciate it.
Alright,
Thank
Too
you.
many things going on too, but
I
it's
know.
crazy. Thanks.
Thank you, Frank.
Thanks for the assistance.
Thank you, nice to see you.
Thank you. See you.
Thanks for coming.
All right, let's try to, like,
Yeah, so I think with some of those, if it's more, hey, you're on here, if everyone sort of bought into the idea that we do want to be a little bit more formal with our planning and the structure and,
Yeah.
hey, making sure that everything ladders back to the reason for doing it
Mhm.
and that we're not stepping on toes, I'm happy to, like, all the stuff that I'm going through now, like, in the same way that Rachel bought something, like a PowerPoint, like, you know, grand plan, basically, for the Environmental Commission, just, these are our goals and objectives, some of the challenges, and our priorities, and then the rollout of that. And you've mentioned we don't have a budget, so we shouldn't have a discussion. That's part of the thing I want to plan for, is I think there should be budget for Environmental Commission. Now, what that looks like and whether or not, it's not necessarily us as a commission handling it, but it's more, for example, if we were to do an Arbor Day event, right? The town has money for a tree preservation fund or replanting fund.
Shade tree.
Yeah, there's at least two. Shade tree is separate. I think they've consolidated it all. It happened last year into one fund, but we don't have much insight into how that money is sort of doled out, who chooses the trees. You
So
talked about it before.
I think you're jumping ahead of yourself, because we, right at this moment, I don't think that we should say, oh, there's money there, let's find something to do with it. We gotta say, this is what we need to do, and then we find money. So, we don't have a budget right now. If we need money, or if we come up with something that actually costs money, then we have to go to council for it and get the money. So, I wouldn't say that we should see money and try to spend it. That's what it sounds like.
No,
you're
it's
talking about.
more that something that we already know that something that we would want to do is to make recommendations on where to plant additional trees around town. You know, you said before that DPW decides that and you don't get a say in what they plant, what they pick, whatever.
So then put that on our list of things to do.
Yes.
Let me make a comment. So, again, let me speak to the mayor right there, because I ran tree giveaways, I've done that. This is a simple phone call with Rutgers. That's where the Borough happens at. They do cost, they're not free, they cost money. There is a spot you get for free, but just so many of them.
I'm not talking about anything free, I'm
No,
talking about,
they will give you a small
I'm
amount of
talking
trees.
about, for example, developers have cut down trees in the town and they make a payment to the town in lieu of replanting. The town can only use that money
Yes,
for replanting trees, not even beautification of the town, yet the people that are responsible for deciding whether trees are planted or not are either not the appropriate people or not doing it. As a commission, I know we don't have the budget, I'm not saying we're just trying to spend it, but it should be part of the conversation going forward.
Let's do a little more research on that and see. And you know what, they used to give out trees, seedlings,
yes, that's what I
every
used to do.
third grade, and the state doesn't do that anymore. It's like that program has been suspended until further notice. Cause I just actually looked that up the other day.
Really.
So, but I don't know about Rutgers, what you're
Rutgers,
talking about,
that's
it's
where
different.
I used to buy them through Rutgers.
And you have to buy them.
They're like 15 and 20 cents a piece.
Oh, okay,
They're cheap at that
Right.
time. I don't know what they are today, but I'm like 50 cents a
right,
piece.
exactly. But still reasonable. Okay, so Rutgers has some kind of program, and you're gonna check with the mayor on what? If we wanna do that again?
I'd love to do it. Do tree giveaway. Because we ran it down there at Public Works on Saturdays. Tree giveaway. It's a nice event.
And, yeah, cause I wasn't involved in that.
No, I ran it.
Yeah.
Public Works ran it.
I don't remember participating in that. So, yeah, I think we should be involved in that, it would be nice.
Yeah,
to be
absolutely,
involved in
environmental
it.
shipping, they should be there handing them out.
Yeah.
Putting in the cars.
Because there was some other program, when I was looking at the state program for the third graders, another program popped up that you could get free trees for municipalities that were damaged by some hurricane, which I don't know I can't remember which hurricane it was. So I'll look into that a little bit more and see if we fall into that bucket. And for some reason I didn't expect to, but I'll look at it again.
I'll only speak to the mayor about it though.
Okay,
I'm sure I'll be interested in hearing about it.
okay. Would you be able to find out, like, what Katie's talking about? Like, how they decide to spend that money and when they plant trees, like, who makes all those decisions? Because we would love to have, input.
Yeah.
That's all underneath the tree ordinance, I know the engineer's been involved with
I
it.
had a pen in my pocket, I didn't bring it, it's not there.
No.
So let me find out.
Yeah,
Find out who makes the decision of where and
Yeah.
what. Fair enough?
that would be super. All right, move on. Okay, so this is where you had listed all those other items on the original agenda, which again, I think we can just leave them on there. Let's pass them today because we've got so much going on, but let's keep them on the agenda. Okay?
Yeah, they were only on this one, they were removed from, the final version,
Right.
just because, I guess, you know, the minimal updates, that things are progressing with them, and that was the only reason they wouldn't be standing items, so I don't think so. It was-
Okay. Again, we don't have it really, I don't think that we have like any reason to, you know, object to these events or, you know, anything like that.
No.
But it's good to know that they're going on, and when they're finished, we can check them off, that kind of thing. It's just because, you know, we're the environmental commission, so we should have a knowledge of what's going on, and if there's a problem, it would be nice if we, you know, would be able to, like, let the residents know what's going on.
Yes.
Agree?
Yeah.
Public service announcements, the recycle coach, did you just find that out, or did we
No.
talk about that before?
We have talked about it before, the reason I added it there, again, as part of this whole keeping residents informed, when I was on the website, the recycling news is up there, the new one, 2026. So it was more of a FYI, it's there, if people are used to the digital version, it is on the website. And then presumably it's been mailed out to all residents, but just, I know that's, it has more than just recycling in there, but also I think about thinking about things that we wanna post over the course of the year, just steal from that PDF, and we post it every so periodically. And then the codes and procedures, it's more, we spoke about it at the last meeting too, about, again, if we speak to residents or our neighbours about, is there a tree ordinance? Yes, there is. It's on e-code. You know, it's, we don't have to be the experts on it, we don't have to pass judgment on their issue, but it's just being aware that, yes, there are a lot of procedures and where to direct people. So, that sort of gives us the chance here to include some of those links in the meeting minutes here, and then at least, hey, I remember hearing it, I'm an environmental commissioner, go there, you know, kind of thing, versus calling town hall or spending an hour on the website. Thank you.
All right, Rachel, do you have, you wanna talk any more about your,
No, I can come next time with like an editorial calendar and make that for the, borough site, for the borough.
something to add to the to the Borough website. And Tom's gonna see how much we can add, how much we can manipulate that.
How much more you can add to it,
Yeah.
move around.
If we can put, links to things. I think the important thing is, can we get the, Google Doc? Or something like Google Doc where we can collect names and,
Yeah, we need some kind
emails?
of communication, that's what we're driving
Say
for.
it again?
Some kind of communication,
Yeah.
so we know what's going on.
Okay.
Why did they decide not to move forward with a separate email address?
The mayor told me last year, just keep on, always be used at that time.
It's because we're not employees of the town, and there's liability associated with having, us make comments to individuals. So I can totally understand why they wouldn't wanna give it to us. So it just makes sense to me. But having it go to Tom or the borough clerk, as long as we get, as long as we have access to that information, I think that is probably as much as we're gonna get.
Yeah, I think, I don't know how much it relates to being on this commission and stuff, but I want to have conversations about, I was gonna mention it as part of budget, and Joyce was aware of it, but she's not here now, so I'm gonna do it, I guess, anyway. I didn't know that I was gonna be reappointed as secretary, but yes, I know we're not employees of the town, and this commission is, we're here at the pleasure of the mayor, we've been appointed, but there are other secretaries and other officers on other boards that are paid a stipend to do some of the functions that we are doing. And I can tell you, having attended a lot of those other meetings, and that's why I'm here, that's why I'm sat here right now, because I made a conscious effort a couple of years ago to be more proactive. We do way more than they do, and they have a budget, they have a stipend, third-party organizations get budgets. So I think, not that I want to push for it now, but it is something that some of the biggest issues that we are facing in this town right now from a community standpoint and public relations is environment-based. And DPW and the administration not taking, and Parks and Recreation not taking responsibility for their things, and all of it's falling through the cracks. So whether that is the purview of this commission or not, I'm just here to say right now that for me, that's where I'm at. I'm here to sit on this board to affect some change in a positive way.
Okay, but the budget probably isn't gonna, we're not gonna get any money for the budget.
No, but having that understanding that, hey, there is going to be some sort of tree replanting, and because that money, I don't know if they spend it, it just sits, Kathy, it just sits, and no one says anything, and then they don't earmark it for anything, and then we just have dead trees everywhere, and then they say there's no money. There is money, there is
That's
money.
anything that we should look into, and definitely find out who makes those decisions, when does it get spent, that kind of stuff.
Right.
How much money's out there, and it would be really nice to be able to make a decision, because I remember when they planted like 10 trees, and they were like crappy trees, and they were in terrible locations. I just remember that,
Exactly.
saying, what the hell, like, why are those trees there, and who made that decision? So, yeah, I would love to,
That's a case study, that's a presentation to, whether it's the mayor, the administration, like a formal one, on behalf of the commission, in the same way that the garden club goes and presents, hey, we want an extra $1,000 in the budget, and you've got to give reasons. I'm not just going, give me your money, like, I've had to pitch for
So we need
hundreds of
to-
thousands of dollars before,
we
so
need to find,
I'm asking for like $500.
we need to have something that we need money for, so like,
Yeah.
let's get our, we need to get things together
Yeah.
and start producing something, because for the last 10 years, we really have not done anything except for the cleanup. So, we need to get things,
Can we start our own tree planting, project?
we probably could, except that we don't have any money to buy trees. That's what we're
Because
talking about.
Beach Street Park is very big, and we can probably, afford to section off an area and make holes, and then bring the trees in that are already ready to be planted, but they have to sit there for a while, and we have to garden them, and then we can plant them anywhere we want in town. Maybe,
I don't understand what you're saying, I'm sorry.
we we can actually create our own tree planting project.
Oh, and you're saying like have a nursery on your property, that kind of
On
thing?
the property,
and
on-
then
On
produce
a
trees?
park, like Beach Street Park.
Oh, have a nursery at that location.
Well, it's a large park, I mean, is it being utilized? That's, you know,
Yeah,
there's plenty of space there.
It needs to be promoted. You know,
It's
that-
something that we can discuss, certainly,
All
and
right,
talk about, something like that.
The idea you had about signs down the trail is the one that I wanna push for.
Create a trail and
Yeah.
signs, I know, we actually did that when we first opened it up, but it didn't get used, so the trails just sort of like disappeared. So we need a way to get people out there, that's, you know, another thing, is to get people to use the park. I mean, that park, the Beach Street Park is really just like a natural area at this moment, but it would be nice to have usage.
I would like to propose making a map, especially for the kids at the schools, so they know where their parks are. And then the times when they can go, where it would be safer, like during the day or on the weekend.
Good idea.
That feels
Field
a
trip.
bit Parks and Rec, that, doesn't it?
Maybe a field trip for schools.
Maybe we should bring it up at the Parks and Rec meeting.
Mhm.
So I might bring it up again, so let me speak to the mayor about a tree giveaway.
Yeah.
Because what ran before, and just let you know that the town did plant trees in the past. We would go out in the woods, open space, and replant trees. We've
So-
done it. We used to replant trees.
And you would dig them up off the open space and plant them someplace else, is that
No,
what
we
you're
added trees. We had a bunch of saplings, the state gave us,
Uh-huh.
go put them in your open space. That's what we should do.
Okay.
That was a long time ago.
Mhm.
Probably about 12, 14 years ago.
Okay, I don't remember anything about
Yeah,
that.
well, it was a public works project.
Okay.
We go out and plant trees. Had like 30 or 40 of them out plant.
That'd be good.
Yeah, nobody knew what we were doing, we just out in the woods, we plant trees, because
Why?
they're dead. Because the saplings were free. And the town jumped on free trees for us to replant open spaces. So we took advantage of it.
We're not allowed to spend a certain amount, this bucket of money on anything else. So surely we have to find ways to plant new trees.
So yeah, so we should, you know, basically come up with a plan for where we need trees, what types of trees we need, and then the next thing would be, what types of trees can we get?
Probably only fir trees, pine trees.
They're all pine trees. Mm-hmm.
That's what state lives, because they're easy growers.
Which would be, you know, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So. All right, so we'll talk to them about that, find out, you know, what kind of trees we can get, and then we need to look at our public spaces and decide where we could put a couple trees.
Okay.
I think, I have to remember, there's one of the, street trees, you know how they have those grates on them, the metal grates?
Main Street.
It's growing over the grate. So I think I'll have to document that and get that information to somebody, Public Works. I mean, I was tempted just to yank it out myself.
Do that.
Don't do that.
So, all right,
Yeah, so maybe between now and the next meeting, keeping an eye on some of that stuff, but formalizing it a little bit more at the next meeting. Maybe start about having a specific discussion on trees and what we've learned since now.
Okay.
So I know someone in the audience here has asked too about whether or not the town would give trees away to residents. That was Rob DeVito had asked one time. I don't think there was a clear answer, but I think it was more no.
okay, we can talk more about that. All right, so, because it's getting late, so anything else we need to talk about before opening to the public? Like to open to the public, anybody have anything?
No, Happy New Year, and you guys have a lot to do. And it's great that you're all volunteering, and I wish you success and any help that I could do in the future. And I do hope, though, that you do advertise and get more members and run a full, I think that's very important. And I also kind of get what Katie's saying about the budget. All these other people do have budgets. I mean, I'd hate to have you miss out on another year, that if you go budget, and even if it's a small budget, you have the cleanups. You need gloves, you need water, you need whatever that everybody always, donates. I mean, this is a town thing. You should have at least a small budget to start with, and then as you get bigger projects, you can add to it. I wouldn't let another year go by. I would definitely ask for something.
Well, we need to, like I said, we need to establish projects that we're really going to take on, and then ask for the money to cover those projects. So like, we've got a whole bunch of ideas. I think today we came up with a lot of new ideas. So I think we need to do our research, and then at the next meeting, decide what projects we're going to take on.
A tree giveaway to the residents. I'm big on that. It
Okay.
works.
That would be great, it's good, that's good. And if we could do it for Earth Day, that would be awesome.
The woman I used to work with, she recently retired in Rutgers. That's what happens. But I might definitely reach down there in Rutgers,
Okay.
see what they got. Beaver Dam Road. Just right around.
Yeah, and it would be nice also if we could just communicate like at other times, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be only the meeting dates, in my opinion, so we could hopefully keep things moving and get, accomplish things before, the next meeting.
Question, you will ask for a budget, to who do you ask that budget to? To the mayor, or?
Yeah, it has to come out of the town budget. We have to get a line in the
And
budget.
do you think we can get it?
No?
So I
So,
was the one that added it to
Okay.
the agenda, and everyone said, it's sort of, we discussed it about why, because we don't have a budget. That's my point, is I think we should. And it would be on those budget meetings on Saturday mornings. There's four or five of them, and each department goes in, like DPW takes a long time, rec.
You're familiar with
Yeah.
that.
but you should be able to get this budget.
We don't need a budget right now, that's what I'm saying, is that, so we did do this like 15 years ago when we started. We did try to get a line item on the budget, and they said no. So now my opinion is, we need to show them what we need to spend it on. We can't just say, can you please give us some money so we can spend it? That's not gonna happen. We need to have something we need to spend the money on.
But here's the thing, you're gonna ask the mayor, and the mayor is the one, let's put it this way, we were talking about like the library itself, so let's weigh out the options. It says this is the dirt soils, if testing confirms the soil is below all residential direct contact soil standards, it's considered non-restricted and can be transported to clean fill without extensive regulation. So I'm gonna say this as a tip. They blew $50,000 when it that was not called for. So I don't see a problem for you to get money, because the higher standards made a $50,000 problem itself.
I know, it seems like peanuts, the little bit of money that we want, have asked for in the past.
Why don't you start off with a 5,000 or something, or something very small?
Yeah.
I mean, open it,
And
open the
then-
door.
The only thing they did, years ago, they did pay for a plan, which I think was like $250, if I remember correctly. A plan for a rain garden at, Parksites. But then they wouldn't pay for the permitting, because it was, supposedly really expensive. So that project died. But again, we had a project, they did help us, they financed the plan, but then the permitting to effectuate the project was too much money. So when we have something that we want to do, that's a good project, we can get money. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the budget if it's not, $1 million. But we don't have any projects right now that we need money for. So we have to come up with projects that are,
To me, that's.
What about the project on Friendship Field, the contamination dirt?
that's not our
I
responsibility.
know, but what I'm trying to say is the mayor said, I quoted, if the soil is contaminated, who's gonna pick it up? And he said the contractor. Now, last meeting, he stated, we might have to pick it up.
Well, of course,
So-
the reason the town doesn't wanna just give us a bunch of money to do whatever we want with is because they've got other expenses that come up. So we have to, like I said, we have to find a project that we wanna do, that the town will agree to, and that's the only way we'll get
Here's a
money.
nice project.
What?
I'm passionate about the trees, but why don't we look at like Tony Park, we have the retention pond down there, there's frogs in it, tadpoles all year long.
Mm-hmm,
So maybe we do some informational signage down there.
that would be nice.
That's what we need to do, and give them,
The
And
signage
Beach
at the
Street.
back.
Yeah, it's in the
Updated
back.
too, Stuff like that.
well, we can do stuff like that around the walking area in the back,
We don't need more projects.
but these, no, we're not cleaning, we want signage to
I think
explain what it is.
And signage is exactly the type of thing that they would probably pay for, because it's not expensive, and it's visible,
Yes,
and it does contribute. So we
Correct.
have to come up with these projects that would be beneficial, that are not super expensive. That's, I think, where we need to start.
I know, but so many things, I think with this year, this is not to speak ill of what's been done before, and this is always the challenge, right, when you're the new people coming in, that you've got all these new ideas, and it's, oh, this has been tried before, it hasn't, and it's not
It
to
doesn't,
dismiss what's been done in the past or whatever, it's just,
and it
I
doesn't
really
mean
am
that we
coming here
can't,
with
it
a
doesn't
fresh
mean that we
perspective,
can't
like-
try again. It doesn't mean that we can't try again. Of course we can try, but I don't see, there's absolutely no way we're just gonna say, will you give us $5,000? That's just not gonna happen.
They're gonna say for what?
Yeah, so we
Well,
have to
that's what I'm
have
saying,
a project.
is we have between now and March 7th to come up with something that we can present at that meeting. I think it's doable. Like, I wasn't even thinking 5,000. I was like, $1,000 to start.
1,000 would be a lot, in my opinion.
Yeah,
What's the project?
So
That's what
what do
I'm
you want
saying.
to now?
like, if we look at all the things that we've talked about today, there is more than enough for $1,000 worth of stuff, right? You know what, rather than having just digital flyers, sometimes you can do some printed ones, depending on, maybe that printed is for environmental, but you know, if it's something that, there's no point doing it and putting a budget around it, if no one wants to go in front of the administration and the council. Like, if you do, then we hustle and put a budget together that's $1,000, half of that probably will go on supplies for the cleanup, right there.
But
With the
again,
500
why
for
would we-
supplies for paper for printing out all of the agendas and things for the different cleanups that we do. Like,
And I don't think that they're gonna give us money for something that we've gotten funded for free in the past.
the mayor brings the pizzas, Kathy.
Right, perfect.
Yeah, but again,
Why would we spend town money when the mayor is willing to donate pieces?
Why would we buy supplies when
Yeah,
people are willing to
absolutely
donate them
not.
for free?
but that's what I'm saying, if they are willing to donate them, then we have a budget to actually do something. The reason that we don't do anything now is people say we don't have any budget,
Right, so
and
what
then
do
we
you-
don't have any money, it's
So
like,
that's
it's
what she's
like
saying. So
catch
what's-
22 too.
So
What
what
do
do
you
you wanna
wanna
do
do?
that you need money for?
Anything, like,
No.
to be honest.
No.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Well, that's
that
what I'm
you need
saying,
money
we've
for?
we've talked about so many things, like, all of these meetings are kind of, but we
Pick
just
one.
talk about,
Pick one.
Yeah.
pick one, then I will go away and pick one, and it would be the trails in Beach Street Park, but that's self-serving, cause me and my family are one of the only families that are always
But
down there.
that's fine, but then that's what Kathy was saying, like, okay, so then you want signage for that? Great, that's something that sounds like the town would pay for anyway,
I
so
think
we
so.
can ask for money for that.
Mhm.
Okay, what else? Like, those are the types of
Yeah,
things, like,
That's fine,
if-
that's good.
they're not just gonna like give us a check and
No,
say like, you know, here's
I
some money.
understand that,
What is
I understand that perfectly well. I've sat in those budget meetings for 2 years in a row about what has to be done to get that money into the budget. I've given some ideas already, so I'm happy to go away, and if we want to have if before, 'cause it would have to be before the next live meeting of us, then we'd have to coordinate, like, hey, if we want to proceed with presenting to them, because it would be,
And you think March 7th is the date that?
is the last one, like, they have them all in February. That would have to be coordinated with the clerk, whether or not we could even be included. But it'd be like, what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to talk about, hey, we haven't asked for a budget, this is what we did last year, recap, we
Mhm.
want to be able to do more, One is,
we want to do this specific. That's what, we can't just say we want
Well,
to,
no.
we're gonna do more. We have to say,
the whole
we're
story
going
has
to do
to,
this specific.
yes, there is
project.
gonna be a project, because you have to put numbers to it, I know how to put budgets together. What I'm saying is everyone keeps saying, oh, well, you've got to have a specific project in order for them to give you money. That's the excuse they are using. That is always the excuse that they are using. If you don't have a budget, how can you plan for anything? As an organisation, if you don't have any budget assigned to you, you cannot plan for something. So therefore, like, tell me what project you want, and then I'll tell you whether I have the money. That's not typically how I'm used to working. That's why I get so passionate about this. Again, I'm happy to put, for lack of a better term, it's a proposal together from the Environmental Commission asking for a nominal or modest budget.
For what?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can't tell you right now until I've written it, Kathy. But like, you're asking for ideas and fully baked ideas, like, that's exactly what the council do. You've got to tell me exactly how much it's going to cost. If you don't spend the money, it doesn't come through, then they get their money back and they take it and redistribute it across the budget. Like, them earmarking money that they don't touch right now to technically environmental commission things, we could get $6,000 worth in budget that's not ours, we wouldn't be handling it. Just like that, if they decided they wanted to do a tree replacement plan, and they just choose not to do the tree
The
replacement
environmental
plan.
commission needs to show that they can do it before they're going to consider any, so we need to provide them with a project. Tom, you have to agree with me on this one. There's no way that they're just gonna give us a line item. We're not gonna get it unless we have a project that we think is, that they agree is a good project.
You have to sell it to them. You have to sell it to them.
Exactly.
They're done.
You can't just sell the environmental commission.
No, I'm not
That's what
selling the
it sounds like
environmental
you want to
commission.
do.
It should already be doing, it should already have a budget, is where my head is at. So if you haven't, then clearly, I don't understand. Like, there has to be some other reason other than you haven't presented a good enough project.
Your budget would have to show what the costs are, your project's gonna be, materials that you would need. You have to justify, have a budget.
I am
Yes or no?
more than qualified to do that. I guess it's,
And that's what you purchased.
alright, I think
Yeah, I think,
we're not gonna get anywhere.
I
on
think
this
this
one.
conversation is like, yeah, we've had it. But we'll definitely keep it, going, and we need to come up with projects and budgets for those projects, and that's what we can submit to the town, so, as we go. So, anybody else in the public, any other comments? Okay, we'll close the meeting to the public. Any last thoughts before we go?
Stay positive.
What?
Stay positive.
And congratulations.
Thank you,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Congratulations, sorry, but well, being a volunteer is tough.
All right,
We adjourn?
yeah,
Motion?
make a motion to close the meeting?